Regardless the information that I give out and I'm able to confirm and share with you guys about Uncle Harley's recipe, there is a select group of people that refuse to accept the reality. They result to insulting me and trying to harm my own credibility with the information, with the facts that I put behind everything that I share with y'all, when they have been proven wrong. There's a forum called KFC 11, and if you are part of that forum and you are actively dedicating your time to prove whether star anise or vanilla is in the recipe, you are wasting your time. Yes, I have countlessly said nobody in the family has the recipe. Then I had a cousin come forward and tell me that they do have the recipe. Do they show it to me? No. Do I believe it? I don't know. It's up in the air. But their story is the most believable, understandable story of why they would have ended up with it compared to everybody else's bullcrap claims on the internet that have been put out there. I've also said that I will only tell you guys what is already public information that is correct, and that is 7 ingredients. Somebody on my YouTube from KFC 11 wanted to say there's no possible way of me knowing that unless I'm incredibly dishonest, and then my uncle wouldn't appreciate or approve of that behavior. I don't really care what any of you feel like you're entitled to when it comes to this recipe. It's a secret recipe, and if it was meant to be public, it would be public in full. But if you really must know, I still have family that knew Colonel Sanders. Did they know the recipe? No. Did they know what it tasted like? Yes. Was it made by the Colonel for them? Yes. Are you from KFC 11 having the ability to talk to these members of my family? No, and they're not going to talk to you. So I am able to confirm the public ingredients that are factual and confirmed. Again, I don't know how else I can word that for it to get through your thick skulls. When it comes to star anise or vanilla, I could say it's not in it because every single person in my family that knew the Colonel personally and had him cook chicken for them personally said that they don't taste it in it. And even if I have been lying this whole time and I do have the recipe, let's say everybody in this family is born with the recipe on their birth certificate, because that's what people think apparently. They think that we're born with it on our birth certificate. It doesn't matter because it's a secret. I could give it to you now and you still wouldn't know whether it was true or not because it's a secret. The only way you're going to get it is from Kentucky Fried Chicken if they decide to release it. What I've done is prove that Joe Lettington's recipe is fake. I've proven several other recipes that are circulating the web are fake. I provided information that yes has been available from people putting it on KFC 11 because for some odd reason they're obsessed with my family. And I've also put out information that you didn't know that was unknown until I was able to confirm it, that filled holes in storylines that people have been posting to the internet. And then there's some people from KFC 11 that actually think that somebody from my family, whether that's Margaret's kids, Mildred's kids, Clarence's kids, or Catherine's kids, are actually going to sit down with a complete stranger on the off chance that any of us do have the recipe and completely entrust the secret recipe to a complete stranger simply because they spent 20 years of their life on a forum trying to figure out what the recipe is for attention. KFC 11 has split into 2 separate groups in there because they had an argument over vanilla being in the recipe. People from KFC 11 are now deciding to argue with Colonel Sanders' family because they don't want to admit that they might be wrong. Here's where your people aren't understanding something. Again, you may have been around during Kentucky Fried Chicken and Colonel Sanders' life. You may think you remember what it tasted like at the fast food restaurants of franchisees that also changed things to cut corners. What you didn't have and don't have was the ability to have Colonel Sanders cook it in his kitchen for you at his home. That's what you don't have. The same people on KFC 11 believe that 99X is the same recipe as Kentucky Fried Chicken, maybe one ingredient different. The same people in KFC 11 believe that Grace's Perfect Blend is the original recipe of Kentucky Fried Chicken. And you very people from KFC 11 decide to come and harass me on my page over the last year thinking I'm going to give you information. I throw you little fake bones because I think it's funny and it's stupid that you're trying to dedicate so much time to figure out my uncle's secret, which you'll never figure out. It's all speculation. Then I decided to actually start putting facts out, and the facts went against what you guys had because I was giving you fake ones last year that agreed with what you were saying. This year, I actually give you facts and sources as to why those are fake and wrong, and y'all want to sit and argue about it. I don't care what any of you feel like you're entitled to. You're not getting the original recipe. You could mix and experiment all you want, talk to people all you want, but unless Kentucky Fried Chicken tells you exactly what it is, you're not going to know the measurements, you're not going to know the full 11, you're not going to know the brands of them, you're not going to know the regions that they were originally founded in. None of it, because it's speculation. Everything, including the 7 that I have presented in front of y'all. It's technically speculation because I combined 99X. What I think in 99X is the same as Kentucky Fried Chicken's. And I showed you Kentucky Fried Chicken's 2 separate recipes. You know what? I actually got to talk to somebody in Marion K Spices about 99X. How many of you at KFC 11 actually got to sit down and talk with the owner and actually get the full story? I don't think any of you did. When I sat down and talked with the owner of Marion K Spices, he was able to confirm and deny which articles online, the big fish stories, which ones were true and false. And a lot of the false ones we all thought were true because they checked out with the information that we had available. The only reason why he talked to me is because I'm the nephew of Colonel Sanders, and he knew that I was trying to get as much accurate information as I could without giving out a full trade secret. Y'all just really need to drop this. Seriously, you need to drop it. You're not entitled to it. You're not going to get it. You need to stop harassing my family for it. And then you need to stop harassing me and my family when we tell you that you're wrong. Be happy with the 7 ingredients that we can confirm through public listings. You're not getting the measurements. You're not getting anything else from that. And yes, previously I said white pepper can't be part of the secret of the recipe because it's been public since the 1960s. But then after talking to Cordell Reed, and then after looking at all these other informations that we had, I determined white pepper actually is in it, but it wasn't the big secret. Joe Ledington says the big secret recipe. It's not. And when it comes to Glenn and friends, Glenn is the only one that I've seen actually know what he's talking about. I don't care if he looked at forums or not to get his information. He actually worked at Kentucky Fried Chicken in positions that he would know what he knows. But he still didn't get the recipe right. How do I know that? Well, you're just going to have to trust it. Or don't trust it. You know why? Because it doesn't matter. It's a secret. Do I need to spell out secret for you and the definition of it and what it means for it to be a secret? Someone with the name Dustin KFC online had harassed me for years about this recipe, trying to get the information that they could from me. I led them astray. I gave them false bones, little chicken bones out there so that they get off of my back. One of my cousins on Margaret's side did too. This Dustin KFC person said that they were going to sit down with one of Margaret's grandsons, and he was going to tell them everything about the recipe. He wasn't. Margaret's side doesn't have the recipe, neither does Mildred's, and they admitted this. Mildred's side told me directly. Margaret's side told Corbin, Kentucky's news stations. And the heck of it is, you don't know whether to believe them either or not, whether they have it. You don't know. The only family member we've had, and he's not even related to us, is Joe Ledington. He's the only one that has gone public, online, on the news, and directly said we have the recipe. If anybody is making a big stink saying that we have the recipe, here's the list of 11, they're lying for attention. Anybody in this family that may have it, they're not going to brag about it. They're not going to say it. As a matter of fact, they might just say that they don't have it. I'm not even going to bother editing this video. It's a rant. I'm tired of seeing the comments, and the KFC 11 forum people are so butthurt right now that they have to go to my YouTube channel now and start leaving comments of insults because I said that they're wrong. I'm just repeating everything that anyone in this family has ever said about that group and anybody trying to figure out the recipe. You're not getting it.